Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. Well, 2024 was the year of the toothpick for me. Now, I'm a big collector of toothpicks, but it seemed like in 2024, there were just a variety of toothpicks, especially from Case, that were out there and available for me to purchase, more so than normal. Even Rough Rider came out with a new toothpick in 2024, and they seem to be coming out with a toothpick, a large toothpick, probably once a year now, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Case medium toothpicks, they seemed to explode last year. And as you can see, I also have associated powder horns here. Now, these are the toothpicks I believe I purchased in 2024, and I'm basing that off of my YouTube videos. There are four here that I'm not 100% certain of. They may have been from 2023, but I went all the way back 2 years and I could not see the videos for them for the life of me. So I'm not sure how I indexed them. And we're going to get those four out of the way. They're all by Frost, and you'll also see those knives coming up in a future video, probably, simply because I wasn't able to find it to begin with. But we'll start with the Frost small toothpicks that I have here, which are pretty cool. I'll start with the Miller Brothers here. This is in pink acrylic. And as you can see, this is a 3-bladed toothpick, brass liners going on, wonderful little pink acrylic. I was on a pink knife kick for a week or two and just had to get a couple more. So I grabbed that, but when I was looking for this one, I saw this one too. And this is by Cherokee Stoneworks. And this one has a crushed green abalone. They also had one in pink abalone. I should have probably grabbed it too. And then the third one here is, I think this is an Uncle Lucky or something like that. It is definitely a Frost knife. We'll talk about that in a sec. Both of these, like I said, have 3 blades on them. You have the California clip, and this has a really good half stop going for it. And then the second blade is a coping blade. And then the third blade opening from the backside is a pin blade, all with a pretty decent half stop. Now this one, the Cherokee Stoneworks one, like I said, this is also a Frost brand. You can see it's got all the little file work going on. Most of it is obviously factory file work. You even have a little work on the bolsters here and on the back of the spines on the blades. These have more of a lazy half stop going on. You can see they're Cherokee Stoneworks. Same blades otherwise though. But this really has a lot of sparkle in that crushed abalone. And then over here we have, I think this is an Uncle Lucky. I'm not exactly sure. But you see you have pearl and malachite going there, and then wonderful scrolled bolsters. And you see these all the time on Cutlery Corner Network. They show them quite often. And it's a really nice one. It's got some file work going on the back there, a little file work on the blade spine, and nice half stop. And you see there, it looks like the Ace of Clubs, but that's actually a clover leaf. So it's more like the Ace of Clover. And I think that's why it's an Uncle Lucky kind of knife or something. But in any case, really pretty knife. Really nice pearl. This is one of the better knives I've seen in pearl from Frost. And I'm pretty certain it's imitation malachite, but it might not be. It's a really pretty knife. Anyway, I don't know if this one is 2024 or not either. And then the last of my tiny toothpicks from Frost is a Frost family, also in pink. Like I said, I was on a pink kick. And this is just a really pretty knife. And I like the shade of the bone going in there. Kind of a mauve, I guess. And you got the Frost family logo there. And I'm almost certain I bought this in 2024. I do not know if I did a video on it or not, however. So they're not in the running, and they wouldn't have been in the running for the top 5 for the year, but I did want to show them real quick just in case. And also to mention that you will see them again in the very near future, because another channel I watch, a guy named Stan, he does, he started an open tag called Frosty Friday, and I'm going to join in with that. And so you'll see these knives very soon in a Frosty Friday, along with all my other frost toothpicks. And then maybe once a month or so, I'll try and do another Frosty Friday and show off some of the frost knives I have. Are frost knives worth showing? Are they worth collecting? In my opinion, yes, especially if you're on a budget. And the thing is yes, there are quite a few bad frost knives out there. So I think as a knife community, it wouldn't hurt to have something like Frosty Friday so that we could tell you about the good frost knives out there, so you would know which ones to go for if you're thinking of collecting frost knives. So I think it's a really good idea, Frosty Friday. So I'm gonna hop on board with that and show you my really nice frost knives, because I was in that camp where I said all sorts of nasty things about frost knives, and it was before I even owned a frost knife. And I think a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about frost knives without ever having actually owned one or used one. And that's unfair. That's not the way we should be in the knife community. In any case, with that said, let's move on to the knives I know I picked up in 2024 and are some really pretty cool toothpicks and related powder horn patterns. And these are the remaining dozen knives here that I know are toothpicks from 2024. And we'll work our way down to the top 5 toothpicks, my favorite top 5 toothpicks for 2024 as we do this countdown. But we're going to start here with a small, tiny toothpick. You notice it is numbered. I think there was a total of 50 of these made. This is by Bear & Son, and it was sold through Red Hill Cutlery. It is an exclusive of theirs. And it's a nice little tiny toothpick. So 3-inch frame with, I would say this is more of a medium clip, but you could also refer to it as a California clip too, or a long clip. It's right to the middle of the blade there. Nice shape on the blade though. And as you can see, Bear & Son there. And the etch on the blade is Devil's Cut Black Bone, which is referring to the bone and also to Kentucky bourbon. The Devil's Cut is the part of the alcohol that escapes from the barrel. And we see here a nice little saw cut bone going on. You got the Kentucky Shield. Blade could move a little bit better on this, but kind of an interesting little toothpick. I have a few Bear & Son small toothpicks, and they're not the world's greatest knives, but as a user, they would be pretty good. Made in USA, but I tell you what, the action on the Frost toothpicks is better than what you get on the Bear & Son. I have to be honest with you. A little bit of grinding going on here and everything else. And as you notice, stainless steel bolsters, or not stainless steel bolsters, nickel silver bolster, nickel silver shield, but a stainless steel liners for the 440A blades. But number 10 of 50 there for the Devil's Cut, tiny toothpick for Red Hill Cutlery. Now, I purchased a couple, I purchased several Rough Rider toothpicks this year. One of them I cannot find, which is the Rough Rider Reserve, the Black Reserve tiny toothpick. I have no idea where it is now. I gotta find it. So you're not going to see that one in this video, but I did pick up a whole lot of the Glow large toothpicks because I give those away all the time. and I picked up some other large toothpicks, but I have shown them in the past, and they were not new to the channel for 2024. But these two remaining Rough Rider toothpicks were purchased by me in 2024. This one I waited forever to pick up because of the big R. The big R is not that big of a deal anymore, simply because not every Rough Rider knife is coming out with the slant R or the big R, whatever you want to call it. I just really wanted to try out the bolster lock here. And so I picked this one up, and it's got some really wonderful saw cut jigged red bone, and nice action on it. It's got a full half stop, and then you have a liner lock going across. They refer to it as a bolster lock because it is cut into the bolster. Easy enough to move over. If you're right-handed, you can probably start closing the blade. I cannot left-handed, but I can right-handed, but not safely because, well, I'm not typically right-handed. But really nice knife, though. A lot of people really like the bolster lock series. What I don't like about it is you do have that cut into the bolster, and I don't think it was necessary to do it that way. It is basically just a liner lock toothpick, and that's what a lot of people like about it, the fact that it is a locking toothpick. And the lock is not too obtrusive, so that's pretty cool. So that is a really nice one. That is on a medium frame, so about 4 1/8 inches long closed, and otherwise California clip blade. This is a series that just came out again, and this is the long rifle series. And they had a long rifle series before, and in the other long rifle series, it was in a brown smooth bone. But now I have this one, and this is in a beautiful red smooth bone, and they did a really good job with the red smooth bone. You also have slanted bolsters, which is pretty cool. There's something different on the bolsters for a Rough Rider toothpick, so that was pretty cool. You got the musket shield. A lot of people wish the knife did not have the big shield, and it would be nice to see it without the shield as well. And you got the long rifle blade edge going on there. It all fits into a series. Nice brass liners, big old long blade, 5-inch toothpick, 4-inch blade. Really nice knife. Not my favorite for a couple reasons. Mainly because I got so many case knives here, and they're all terrific. Now this is the Sardinian by Frost. Who do they actually say? Yeah, Hen and Rooster. Hen and Rooster International, however. The knife was actually made in Pakistan. As you can see, it has a big old chunk of stag on either side of the handle there. You got wonderful brass bolsters going on, and it is a lockback. Has the B there, which is pretending to be like a Laguille style knife, but it's also kind of like a Navaja style knife, the size of it and everything else. Actually, I have a knife made in Spain that looks almost identical to this. That is not a lockback though. And you got a wonderful blade there. Again, 5-inch handle, 4-inch blade, and it locks. And look at how thick that blade is. You got a really wide belly on the blade. So really pretty cool knife. I do like the Sardinian. I'm glad I picked it up. I have to be honest with you. I was actually looking at picking up this knife for well over a year. Frost was showing them on Cutlery Corner for the longest time, these Hen and Roosters. Because of the price, they're only like $40. From the price, I kind of knew that they were not made in Germany. But they did say that they're using German steel and everything, which was a clue that it was definitely a knife being made in Pakistan. But I didn't want to just order it off of Cutlery Corner Network. I needed to see it in person before I actually bought it. And when I was at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, they had it there. I saw it. They actually had it in the stag. I was looking at this in either stag, white smooth bone, or in Ramshorn. They had it in stag, so I grabbed the stag, and I'm very pleased with it. Very solid, very well made knife. It is definitely made in Pakistan, so it does have some flaws and everything with it, but all in all, not a bad little knife. It's and it does lock, so that's pretty cool. In any case, is it one of my top 5? Well, we'll see in a little bit. Speaking of Pakistan, I also picked up this one. This is a really interesting Laguiole that I was not expecting to see. And it, it was definitely made in Pakistan. This is a late night bid that I was doing. Got the little pigtail on the back. You got the file work that doesn't look bad at all. And then you've got the little bumblebee there, or whatever kind of bug you want to call it, the Laguiole fly, and nice blade. Does not lock at all, but kind of cool looking knife. I kind of like the way the lines ran and everything else, and very heavy because of all the steel construction going on. And the little piggy on the back, which is something I just really like. I like corkscrews. I know they're not for everybody, but I like them. And I saw this and it's like, okay, great, I'll pick it up. Yeah, probably shouldn't even be on the table with these other knives here, but it's still pretty cool. It's a fun knife for me, let me put it that way. That brings us to this one. This is my Bulldog brand barn door hinge toothpick. I really like barn door hinge toothpicks, and this one, I saw it and it was just it's like, wow, that is gorgeous. And there was a beautiful buy it now price for it, and I just grabbed it right away. As you can see, it's kind of like a cross between tiger eye acrylic and like imitation buffalo horn or something. The acrylic is just wonderful. It's got some beautiful colors going into it. You got the gold, the brass liners, and look at that brass barn door hinge was just fantastic. And it's a 5-inch toothpick, my favorite size, and then gorgeous 4-inch blade going on there, or close to 4-inch. Let me see, got to get something to wipe it off with. Yeah, just a gorgeous toothpick. I saw that and grabbed it immediately, and did a video on it almost immediately too. Came out in 2008, but it's new to me in 2024. And yeah, just a great little barn door hinge toothpick, if you want to call a 5-inch toothpick a little. That brings us to 6 case medium toothpicks. I have never picked up 6 case medium toothpicks in a single year. Never. And what's even bigger is that 2 of these were made by Brian Yellowhorse. The very first 2 Brian Yellowhorse knives I have ever picked up. And I picked up 2 of them in the same year. That says something about the knives, I think. And I guess you kind of know where my favorites are going to kind of fall. But before we get to these 6 case medium toothpicks, I just discovered this one again. This is the Bourbon Barrel Tiny Toothpick by Case. I'm not sure how I missed it, probably because it was a tiny toothpick, and I don't normally pick up tiny toothpicks by Case. I only have one other tiny toothpick by Case, but I saw this one, and because of this one, I went ahead and grabbed this one too. This is in a Bourbon Barrel. It's a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. Picked it up also because, well, I already had the Devil's Cut by Barron's Son, so it's like, why not get the Bourbon Barrel? And I did, and you can see there it's got a special shield, which is double X Bourbon Barrel, and then nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, and your case tiny toothpick blade, that California clip blade that you find on a toothpick. 3 inches with a 2 1/4 inch blade. Beautiful little Bourbon barrel wood handle. I don't know. thought I'd have to show that one too, because it was a 2024 pickup. So let's run over these now. There's the 6 of them. I'm going to save the best 2 for last, because these are definitely 2 that are in my favorites for 2024. That's going to be an obvious choice there. So we'll start down here, and this is the Case Sea Dragon. This was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. These things sold out extremely fast. I know they came out with a second run of them, but those also went away very quickly. As you can see, the lineup on mine is just about perfect. What it is it's a Caribbean blue bone in it looks like a corncob jig going on with it, and then it has been burnt also, and that's why, and that gives that kind of a scale look to the handle going on. Depending on how well they torch the handle, sometimes it's very dark and very obvious, sometimes it's not as dark and obvious. Very small number of these were made. They have the arrowhead shield going on. No blade etch or anything. I would have loved to have seen a blade etch on this for, Sea Dragon or something, but it just wasn't going to happen. In any case, pretty cool knife. I do like the Case Sea Dragon. Next up is the Case Zebra Wood, and I really like Zebra Wood. I've got a couple knives in Zebra Wood, but I did not have a toothpick in Zebra Wood. And when I saw the Case was doing this, I was like, wow, I got to grab one of those. And it was out of stock everywhere. I was thinking, I could not have just missed it. It's a new knife. And I was looking everywhere for it. And finally, it started coming in stock, and I managed to grab one right away. It's probably still out there. I could probably still pick one up if I wanted to pick one up. But, at the time, it's like the anticipation and the waiting. Sometimes when you're doing that, it's like, I'm probably going to be disappointed in it when it finally shows up. But nope, not at all. I was really happy with this when it came in. The grain structure is just perfect. It's just wonderful. Zebra wood with those stripes running through it is just fantastic to me. One of those handle materials that I never get tired of. And Case did a great job with this. Blade, definitely not exactly down the center, but close enough for my work. And, definitely not rubbing or anything. And you got there, your 6-dot 2024. Just a beautiful knife. In case, there was the Zebra Wood. And this was another knife that was new for 2024. This is the Seafoam Ithaca series. And this was also a really big hit when it first came out. This is in G10. This is Seafoam green is what they say. But as you can see, it's not that green. It's especially on the camera. The camera makes it look a lot more blue than it is. It's very much more of a turquoise color, though. And I remember when TC showed it on Smoky Mountain Knife Works, he referred to it as that color for like that you would have found on like a 57 Chevy or something like that, or a Ford Thunderbird from back in the days. And he's right. It is that kind of color, that sea foam, that greenish blue that cars from the 1950s and early 60s came out in. And it's just a really pretty knife. G10 handles too, which is pretty cool. And you can actually see the pattern of the G10 in there. And if you look closely, there's almost like waves running through the G10. And I think that's where they get the name of the Seafoam. You see the lines running in there. That's really cool. I don't know. I really like the way that came out. Lineup was almost right down the middle on that one too. Beautiful knife. Just beautiful. And this one has been around for a while, I think, or it might have been new, but the Crandall Jig Gray Bone has been around for a while. The medium toothpick might have been new for 2024. You can see there again. I tell you what, now, these were not knives that I went and purposely picked out or anything. Most of these knives were picked up online. I purchased them online, and as you can see, while you can't say it's exactly down the middle, I have had such, you can't call it luck at a certain point. I was going to say I've had such great luck with the blade alignments on my toothpick, but when you have this many of them showing up and the alignment is almost consistently close to down the middle or right down the middle, it's hard to say that that is luck. It is consistently decent blade alignment on my medium toothpicks from Case. Maybe you haven't had that luck, but I sure have. In any case, again, brass liners, and that brass really looks good with the gray. And I noticed something here with when I started collecting the medium toothpicks. If it is in like wood or a smooth synthetic, then you're going to have a small pin back here. If it is in bone, especially a jig bone, then you're going to have a large pin here. Jig bone of any kind or stag will have a large back pin. Otherwise, you're going to have the smaller smooth back pin on your toothpicks. But yeah, this is just a gorgeous knife, and that gray is just fantastic. I really do like it. And then we get to the two biggies. The first one, this is the very first one I picked up. This is number 10 out of 100 in choya wood and turquoise. So, and this is by Brian Yellowhorse. This is the very first Brian Yellowhorse I ever picked up. You can see the work bolsters up there. And then you see the turquoise filling in the holes in the choya wood. Choya is a type of cactus found in Arizona and northern Mexico and such. And just smooth as butter opening there. Yellowhorse case custom. See right there. And then on the back side, 10 of 100 with Brian Yellowhorse's signature there. Just a gorgeous knife. And as you would expect, there's the alignment. And then the other one, I just did a video on this one very recently. This is the Ocean Treasures. We're talking abalone, mother of pearl, and golden black matrix. This is just a gorgeous knife. Nickel silver liners instead of brass liners on this one. Pretty decent lineup going on, as you would expect. And the work bolsters, someone said the top of it looked like a brain, and someone else said, well, it's brain coral. Okay, I could go with that. But yeah, the work bolsters going on, nickel silver bolsters, by the way. And then again, Case Customs, Yellowhorse, and this one is number 5 of 100. I've been very lucky with the numbers. I managed to snag some very low numbers on these customs by Brian Yellowhorse. So where are my 5? What are my 5 favorite toothpicks for 2024? Well, first I'm going to give a big honorable mention to the Rough Rider long rifle, and the reason I'm doing that is because this is a large toothpick that just about anyone can afford. This one will come in at under 20 bucks, and so if you want to learn or get a feeling for toothpicks, especially large toothpicks, want to know how it feels in the pocket and such, grab this one. It's a beautiful knife, and it's worthy of at least a test ride in a pocket. So the long rifle is the newest of the Rough Rider large toothpicks. They have other ones out there, but if you're new to toothpicks and you want to know what it's like to have a 5-inch toothpick in your pocket and just how comfortably it carries and how useful the knife can be, this would be a great one to try. If you're looking for one that locks, then right here, this is a medium toothpick, and you've got a blade here that's 3.5 inches long. This is a slimmer blade than you're going to have on the large toothpick though, but at least this one locks, and that's something that people always want, is a locking toothpick. So big honorable mention to both of these. This bolster lock medium toothpick by Rough Rider definitely deserves the honorable mention, and I shied away from it for the longest time because of the big arm. I'm glad I came back and grabbed it later. So now let's get to the 5. And these are just my personal favorites. These are the ones that really just grabbed me. And well, I'm going to start with the barn door hinge. This and these are not in any particular order, at least for the 3 bottom ones. So this could be 5, 4, or 3. I just really like this one. It's a beautiful looking knife. Barn door hinge toothpicks are very hard to find. To get it in 5 inches was just fantastic. This one is in great shape, and I just really like it. And so that one, everything about this knife just says, yeah, this is gorgeous. I really like this. It deserves pocket time and everything else. So the Bulldog brand 5-inch barn door hinge toothpick is one of the 5. These guys are out of the way real quick now. All of these are out of the way, but we got 5, at least one of the 5. For number 3, 4, or 5 again, we're going to say that 3 knives came in 3rd place. Let me put it that way. I'm going to go with this one. You heard me talking about it. I really like zebra wood, and this one just was really gorgeous. The lineup is pretty good. Everything about this is really nice. I just really liked it from the moment I saw it. I mean, this is one of those knives I waited for the longest time, and it surprised me. I really did like it. This is just a fantastic knife. I like the zebra wood. Doesn't say anything negative about any of these 3, but it does say that I like it a little bit more. On a different day, I might have chosen one of these, but that does leave, well, this is out. I'm not crazy about the tiny toothpicks, but I did like the bourbon barrel one. And that's why it is the 2nd case tiny toothpick that I have picked up. I will probably pick up some other case tiny toothpicks in 2025. We'll see about that, but definitely not in my top 5 toothpicks for the year. So which of these 3 made the cut to be either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th of my toothpicks for 2024? And I got to tell you, flip a coin. It could be any of these 3, any of them. I have no way to really say which one I would really want to keep. The one that surprised me the most is probably this, the gray Crandall jig bone. I really just love the way this gray looks. It's a beautiful color. But then the seafoam green is really fantastic too, and I really love the way it glistens under the light and the waves that you can see in the G10 and such. In the Ithaca Shield, you know, being Christian, then there is something to that as well, and that is something that speaks to me. And the Sea Dragon was just a big hit, but you know, and it's one that you're not going to find again, and the lineup on this is just almost perfect. It's so great. But I think, you know, if you got to choose, and I wanted to get it down to 5, so I am going to choose. I'm going to have to go with the gray for right now. Next week, it would be one of these 2, but we're going to say the gray. I'm going with the gray. Other people are probably looking at me, are you nuts? Why would you go for this over either of these 2? But that's the ones I'm going with. I'm going with the gray. And that leaves these 2, the 2 Brian Yellowhorses. And I will tell you, hands down, this is number one. This is number one for the year. If you saw the video on it, then you know how excited I was with this one. I was quite excited about this one too. I have a thing for turquoise, so I really like turquoise in a knife, and the cholla wood was really cool too. And the way he did this was really fantastic. But that abalone, I mean, is just the colors and everything in this are just amazing. And you have the wonderful pearl and everything else. How could this not be my number one toothpick for 2024? This is the number one toothpick in my collection at the moment. The only thing that's going to be able to beat it out is something else, and some, if it was completely pearl, and also done as well as this. So that's my top 5 toothpicks for 2024. I know it was a bit of a ramble. I hope you enjoyed it, but there you have it. Talk to you again soon, and looking forward to the toothpicks I might find in 2025. Also, in the comments below, tell me where I went wrong, and tell me what toothpicks in here you would have chosen for your top 5. Or better yet, do a video and show me your top 5 toothpicks for 2024, or even just your top toothpick from 2024. Talk to you again soon.
Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.